Hey Phil, thanks for coming on and having a chat.
Thanks for having me, Nate. This is so exciting.
It was a couple of months back. I think I was on your show. I kind of reached out. Well, you kind of reached out. I had a call and kind of just like this is like a random sort of nighttime, like late night call. I was like, hey, here's what you can do to kind of fix up your channel. Well, not fix up your channel, but just do a little bit more to get some momentum. And then you asked if I'd come on the show, and I said, yeah. And then you wanted to be on mine. I said, when you get to 1,000 subs, we'll do it. You hit 1,000 subs. So yeah, here we are.
Yeah, for sure. So glad to be here.
So how did you kind of, comic book origin story, how did you get into the NFT space?
So, a friend of mine that's done really well and sold out to a huge company, moved to the States. He ended up starting a YouTube show about NFTs, and I just started watching, and it was a really good entry level show, and I got really, really excited about it. And yeah, he sort of guided his viewers through the whole process, and that's what introduced me to NFTs.
So why did you kind of want to jump in and actually take YouTube a little bit more seriously when it came down to the NFT space?
The first NFT I minted ended up being a bit of a flop, but through that project, I met Morland, who's my co-host, and we tried to revive that project. And I tried to get this failed project into a launch pad to do a relaunch. And I ended up meeting Space Punks because at the time it was just Doge Pound and Space Punks that were doing launch pads. And they loved the project, they loved the art, and they wanted to actually take it on. But because the contract was such a mess, which was part of the problem, and because we had already started minting, we had minted once, we couldn't change their contracts. But I built a good relationship with them, and I ended up helping out Pete, who's the head of Space Punk's Launchpad, with all of his Launchpad projects. And through that, I actually ended up being approached by various projects to be community manager and all of that. And, always in these projects, they were usually pre launch, and I would go in like a month before and I would check the website. I would run the Discord. I would meet all the mods, like really give them good advice and try and help. And everyone was looking for YouTubers to get their project noticed. And I just thought, if we could start a YouTube channel and really give good advice and good information and end up having a good channel, that will be a bigger value proposition that I could offer to the projects that I was assisting.
When it comes down to sort of like recording, because you're kind of recording daily, how does that kind of fit in with your schedule and kind of like just everyday life?
I think it's very important to be consistent in the space. From my perspective, I know that the channel that I watched from the beginning, they recorded at the same time, and it was something that I could rely on. And I think that that's important for various reasons. So it's become a priority for me to do it. But it is, as you know, I mean, we do a lot of research with it. We're lucky because we do live shows, so the editing is not too bad. I mean, obviously, we still then, if we have good content, make those into standalone videos. So there is some editing, but it fits in, but it's a big commitment. So it is taking your time away from other stuff, but it's something that's important to me. And like, anything worthwhile is not easy. And so too with this.
When it comes down to NFTs, what kind of person are you? Are you kind of a flipper or a long-term holder, a bit of a blend? What's your kind of play? What's your mix?
I'm still finding my way. We've been trading for about 8 months now. In the beginning, I was a diamond hander. So no matter what project it was, I was very selective with what I bought into. And when I did, I was never going to sell. And that didn't serve me well from a financial perspective, although I made good relationships and what. So I've converted myself into a bit of a flipper, but I still struggle with it. So it depends on the project. There's certain projects that I'm diamond handed, and I think those are, the notable ones like Mutant Apes. Even Clone X for me is a long-term hold. Even if I could 2x my money, I'm not interested in getting out. I did try flip it once, and I ended up buying in for pretty much the same as what I sold because it's hard. It's hard to time the market. However, with new projects now, I've learned that it's important to take profit where you can, especially in these type of markets that we're experiencing now. And I've become a bit of a flipper, but yeah, my luck, I'm flipping the good ones and I'm holding the bad ones. But I'm learning. So I'm a mixture, to answer your question.
So I guess this is a shameless plug for the group that I've kind of got, but how has kind of your journey through the NFT space kind of gone building relationships and kind of joining sort of groups, be it kind of alpha groups like the one that we're in, or sort of projects and kind of building those relationships with those people there?
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting. One of the great relationships is you and me. I'm really glad that I've met you, and I really enjoy your Discord. So again, because I'm doing so much, and I don't have that much time, and this will be a shameless plug for you also. Alpha groups are amazing because here the information is presented to us on a silver platter. I don't need to grind for the most part, and here's your whitelist. This is why the project's good. I have gotten into quite a few alpha passes, including yours, and I really like the intimate nature of yours. And the relationships are great. I mean, Moreland and I have become really, really close, and that's someone who I would consider a friend of mine for life, who I would never have met otherwise. And I've also made a lot of good contacts, so not necessarily friends, but like on all the projects that I've dealt with, and those founders who reach out to me and ask advice on this and that, and vice versa, that I think on an NFT business side is going to be valuable in the future.
What kind of projects do you like moving into? Is there a particular art style, a particular utility? What kind of projects like would catch your eye if there was a lineup in front of you?
It obviously changes with the times. I'm very bullish on metaverse projects at the moment, and I have been for a while. So I bought NFT Worlds when they were zero point 0.3. I bought World Wide Webland at the same price, and those type of plays. So obviously, any project can say we've got the metaverse in our roadmap, and that's very different to established metaverse projects. Like a recent one that I'm really excited about also is Heroes of Marvia. I think it's a gaming studio, so really reputable metaverse projects are great for me at the moment. And P2E I'm also very excited about. So when it's like a Heroes of Marvia, which is both, that really gets me going. So at the moment, that's what I'm bullish on. I do know that there's other metas that people are very bullish on at the moment. I used to be mostly attracted by the visual of the NFT, but I've come to realize that what it looks like means absolutely nothing. You can't judge a book by your cover. Look at VeeFriends. It looks like crap, but it's a great project because Gary Vee's behind it. And I can name a million that look gorgeous that have got no utility. So I'm trying not to be drawn in by the art or by the visuals, rather, of the project, and rather to be looking at the team behind it, the utility behind it, because that's much more important than what your ticket looks like into the show.
Where the space is going, so 3, 4, 5, 10 years time, where do you kind of see it going, or where do you want to see it going?
So NFTs at the moment are still very new. I think the NFT technology is going to be around forever. I think the ability to have something that your proof of ownership is indisputable. And we're even seeing it with Shopify now. Like, they're not really launching NFTs so much. It's going to be your membership into that shop. So if you've got an NFT of that particular shop, you're going to get discounts or free. And I think from that level, your home loan, your bond, all that stuff is going to be NFTs, and companies are going to embrace it, and it's going to be a huge thing to come. The current form of what it is, these profile pictures with utility, that I think is going to change a lot. And I think that this is the early stages, and there are opportunities here, but I do think that this is not really the exciting stuff about NFTs in the future.
Are there any other kind of last remarks or things you kind of want to add, like, so you can kind of peel back a little bit, that you think people should kind of know about you and what you do?
Yeah, no, I think here, we've got a lot of people seeing the headlines. So Bored Ape sells for $2.5 million, and that sort of thing. And I think it creates a false perspective that you're going to come in, you're going to buy any NFT, and you're going to make tens of thousands of dollars, like when Lambo, right? And I think that's not the case. And I think people need to be aware of it. You hear in every YouTube channel, do your own research and all of that. And I think it's really, really important for people to realize, like any investment, NFTs are risky, but there is huge potential because this is the early stage of NFTs. And if you're willing to take the time and come on YouTube channels like Nate's and mine, and listen to what we're saying, and then look into projects yourself and follow notable people. If you're willing to do the groundwork and make smart decisions, there is profit to be made. But don't think of it as your free ticket into it. Like anything, if you want to be good at it, it takes work, it takes time, and there is risk. So I think my parting comments would be tread cautiously, but do it properly. And there's no rush. There's no rush to go and see something on YouTube and quickly buy it. Do your own research, take your time. And yeah, I think it's a great space. I really love it. But at the same time, we saw recently with Pixelmon, people, it could have been their first NFT paying 3 Ethereum for an NFT, not knowing that that's the price that they could get a blue chip for. I mean, my Mutant was 3 Ethereum 3 months ago. Yeah, I think just take your time, join some alpha groups, ask questions, but enjoy it, because you will make some great relationships, and you will potentially do well if you're willing to take the cautious approach, and be a bit patient.
Awesome, Phil. Thanks for coming on and having a chat.
Thank you, Nate. I really appreciate it.